This mom to four nurse was in burnout long before she even knew it. She honestly thought, this is what life is. This is what nursing is. This is what motherhood is. This is how life goes. It's stressful and crazy. And she frantically tried to keep all her balls in the air all the time until they just kept dropping one after another. She found herself in burnout and finally realized it. Are you on the slope headed towards burnout, on that stress, slippery slope, headed down into a burnout scenario? Do you even know? Well, listen in so you can learn how to find out if you are and then what to do about it, the actual tips that will get you out. This conversation is a conversation I had with Janelle Clausen in Nursing the Nurse Facebook group. I apologize for any audio mishaps, but I pray you hear this clearly and it resonates with your soul. Let's go. Hey mama, are you overwhelmed by your full, blessed life? Do you feel stuck in the messy, mundane middle? Then I'm so glad you're here to take a breath. Hey, I'm Shan, RN, holistic wellness coach, and a mom to four that went from perfectionism, control, and lots of anxiety to intentionally living through simple solutions and so much peace. If you are done with the stressed out life, hot mess express type of motherhood, then heat up that coffee again and let's live holistically well in the middle. Let's go.
Have you here and share, because you're a nurse as well. So I'd love for you to share, like, who are you and what brought you here?
Yes, I loved having you as well. We have a lot in common. I was in patient, typical nursing for 10 years, where I definitely had my bouts of burnout and never wanted to really admit that. Just felt like this is what it is and I'm just surviving. I wasn't as courageous of you as you and like, oh, I need to fix this. And then I became a mom and I was like, yeah, I don't want to go do that and be a mom. I'd rather be a mom. I'd rather be home. I did. I put nursing on the back burner. Luckily, we were able to, have a one income family and I put nursing on the back burner and we started having babies. It was my third baby that I experienced. I had actually experienced postpartum anxiety through every child. But with my third, it was so extreme that I really recognized it and was like, okay, something's not right here.
Yeah.
The other ones, I felt like I was more just in denial of anxiety and like my feelings and just still working in that high stress mode and like, I just need to keep going just like a nurse would. And then I realized this was postpartum anxiety and I needed to, I actually cried out to God and I was like, what do I do? How do I do all this? I actually had like an at-home business at the time. So I was like, how do I still do. So I always continued working. It just wasn't in the hospital.
Yeah.
So I was like, how do I continue having this job and the perfect home and the perfect kids and the perfect wife? How do I do all of this at the same time? I can't juggle all these balls. I heard very clearly you're not supposed to. And so yeah, it was like, no, you're not supposed to do all of it. And that was my first like wake up call to perfectionism. And like that was underlying my stress and my striving and my always trying to do more. And it got me very far because I feel like as a nurse to really help someone to the degree that you do when you're on shift, you have to have some of that drive and that motivation and that selflessness and to be like, I'm going to not go to the bathroom for 10 hours because I need to help these people.
Really testing that nurse's bladder.
Yes. But no, some people really wouldn't even hold their bladder for 20 minutes because that's not worth, like they don't have that heart to do that. But we have that nurse's heart. And so I think it got me very far, but it got me to the point where I was like, how do I do all this now? Now the 3 kids and all, And it was like, no, you're not supposed to. And what you need to do in order to do any of it, in order to even care for your babies, you need to take care of yourself first. And it was God gave me 4 very simple action steps that I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not doing those things, and I'm missing out on my holistic wellness because I'm trying to do all these checklist things, to do things and tasks. And so it really was spending time with him, spending time in prayer and journaling, spending time with my husband on purposeful, adult only time, dates and having fun, and then spending time with my girlfriends, having conversation with adults, and then spending time with me and my body and actually working out and
I love that.
moving my body, having that. So it really was physical, mental, social, emotional, spiritual wellness. Yeah. All of it. Yeah. With these 100%. 4 things. And in that, when I was on this journey, I was like, wow, I got rid of the stress and the anxiety and actually found healing on this. I was like, I want to help other moms do this. So I'm now using my nursing knowledge, expertise, and my nurse's heart to actually care for other moms so that they can have peace and time and energy and presence in their motherhood, whether they're working in a hospital or whether they're working from home or whatever they're doing. We're all doing a lot. So it's how you can still take care of yourself even in all of that. And that's kind of what I coach now.
Yeah, oh, it's awesome. And, that's why I'm so happy to have you here. It's so in line with what we do here at Nursing the Nurse. It's about that, looking at the whole person, looking at it from a holistic perspective, because it's not just a one size fits all. And secondly, it's not just one aspect that'll fix everything. It's definitely all of the things, making sure, like you said, looking at the spiritual, the physical, the mental, and the emotional. You've got to look after it. And it's awesome. I love your story. It's, it's sad because it happens so often is we think that we want to do all the things. And it's only when we kind of, you got a wake-up call 3 times, but only heard it the 3rd time with your postpartum anxiety. True. It happens to every nurse and every mom. We get all these kind of red flags, but then we kind of, pass it off as normal when it's not actually normal. And it's important I am all about just raising that awareness of it's not normal to feel X, Y, Z, and this is what you do about it. So
to speak to that too, it was with the babies that woke me up to it, because I was really trying to care for someone else and care for them really, really well. Yeah. But the anxiety was strong throughout my whole life. And we had talked about this on my podcast, that first 6 months, actually that first year of nursing, when my anxiety was coming out all sideways and all different relationships. And I was definitely experiencing the verge of burnout. Yeah. But I didn't know that, because like you said, I thought it was normal. And I thought, this is really, really hard. Yeah. And it's really, really hard to be a nurse. So I'm going to keep going. And it wasn't no one asked me, are you having some anxiety? I didn't know how to discover that. So 100%. So I think it was there the whole time. It wasn't until my babies, and I wish I had woken up to it sooner, but it was my baby's life was in my hands, and then I was like, okay, and this has to stop.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I totally get it. Now, I'd love you to share a little bit about how you recommend working mums, and obviously we're a nursing group, so working mums or nurses who can, how can they find time to make a lifestyle changes and live more holistically, do exactly what we were just talking about?
Yeah, so first, it's recognizing that you're really a spiritual being made up of a lot of different parts to you. And you can't just say, well, on my day off, I'm going to make sure I get a run in and go to the gym. And then that's taking care of myself. Mm-hmm. It's that's one aspect of you. And then what about the other days that you're actually working and you feel like it's a 12-hour shift? I have no time. But there are small little action steps that pay dividends. They actually go very far in taking care of your whole person, and it takes no time. So one thing that I really think anyone can do, and it's a life-changing thing, and it takes seconds to minutes of your day, is to rewire your brain. And that, because everything comes down to mindset and what we're thinking. So if we're going into a day, like a 12-hour shift, I have no time today to do anything but wake up, get dressed, and go to work. I'm not going to eat today. I'm not going to go to the bathroom. I'm not going to be able to see my kids. And I'm going to get home. It's going to be dark. They're going to be in bed. And then this is just going to be a waste of a day. If that's how you're going into your day, then that's what's going to happen. So it really starts with like always changing your mindset. It always comes down to mindset. So time actually is a mindset issue. If you feel like you have a time issue in your life, it's actually a mindset issue. So what you're going to do, which takes just seconds, is to wake up and be thankful for the day, speak out gratitude, and speak out loud what you want to believe for the day. So for me, I actually change lies that are going on. So I have these lies that are for me, like they're personal. They're lies, things that I've believed for so long, and I have to change those. You find out what are the lies that you're listening to, what are the negative thoughts that you pertain to your life, and then you flip them for the truth. So if it's I don't have time today, it's going to be a waste of a day. Really, the truth is, you have enough time for all that God has for you to do today. And so if you wake up and say, this is a great day, I am going to have so many opportunities today to do all that I'm supposed to do today, then you're going to go into the day with such a positive mindset that it changes everything. And actually, you can rewire those neural pathways by doing that consistently every day, saying these truths out loud. You actually rewire your brain. So I think that's something anyone and everyone can do. And then another thing to like take care of your stress and protect burnout and care for yourself would be getting fresh air, sunlight. That helps you get into the natural rhythms of your body, and getting fresh air and sunlight actually helps lower your stress and anxiety. And that can take, again, just minutes of your day. And so if you're on a lunch break, maybe you go to work at dark 30 and you come home at dark 30, but there's maybe some kind of a break in there. Make sure you go outside for your break. Don't stay in the trapped doors. And then something like knowing that water, actually just drinking 4 ounces of water lowers your anxiety. Saying, okay, if I have to work all day, I'm going to make sure that I'm going to take sips of water, and 4 ounces, just drink for 10 seconds and you're good, So knowing those kind of little things that don't take much time and just plugging them in, and then they become natural, healthy habits of your life.
100%.
Then you'll see, it'll change everything if you take those little steps of action.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And exactly, oh man, I can't say it better because you said it so well. I will add though, like that's exactly the types of things that we go into in the book that I wrote a few years ago in Nursing the Nurse, the ultimate 6-step guide to beating nurse burnout, because it's, we go into all of those mindset stuff, but then we also go into forming habits, because like habits it's everything. It's habits, whether good or bad, is going to take you, is going to set you on a path to a destination. And if we, do X, Y, and Z expecting to get to whatever result, but it's actually not, the steps we're taking isn't conducive to going that way, we're not going to get there. It's like plugging in the wrong address to a GPS, expecting that it'll take you to the one that you actually meant. So yeah, that's awesome. I love that. Now, tell us a little bit about your podcast and a little bit about your Facebook group. I'd love to hear how people can connect with you and learn more about what you do.
Yeah, so my podcast, Holistic Moms, is simple, holistic wellness solutions to manage anxiety and stress. Most of us, especially in this group, and are high achievers and have high stress levels. And stress is good to a point, but then if it tips over and goes into exhaustion, it leads to anxiety and burnout. We hover here a lot, and when it gets over, it's really good to know those simple, just like I shared, those simple, small, practical, natural things that you can do to help lower and get you back on the other side of that line.
Yeah.
So that's why I share my podcast. I also have a lot of great interviews like yourself, and I love testimony and hearing from other moms that this is what I did. This is how I took courage in my holistic wellness. So you can too. So to hear from other testimonies is big on my show. And then my Facebook group is a lot of the same thing. Just a community where you know that the people in the group are like-minded and they all want to live holistically well. We just have this overwhelm and stress that's kind of holding us back. To help us all get there with that community and accountability is huge. I have the coaching that goes along with all of it because I think accountability is if you feel like you're a loner in this, and when we get in that stressful spot, we do feel all alone. There's so many times I've said to my husband when I'm having a little anxiety moment where I'm like, I'm so alone, I have no friends. And he's like, he'll list them off. And he's like, why do you think that? And I was like, it's because when you get in that little story, that scary story you've written in your head, there's no one else there with you. Yeah. It's you're just all alone, and no one else feels this way. Yeah. You just make up all this stuff, and I even feel like I have no friends. Community and accountability is so huge. To know that other people feel the same, they're going through the same things, and you guys can encourage each other.
A couple things I want to point out from that conversation that I had with Janelle. One is I said, no one asked me if I was having anxiety, and I didn't know how to discover that. Are you in that boat? Do you think you're having a lot of stress in your life? We all have stress. Do you have an overwhelming amount? Are you in chronic stress all the time? If you are, then naturally your body, your mind, your emotions are in a place of exhaustion. And after that comes anxiety, anger, and burnout. It's like a slippery slope, and it's really hard to not fall down into that. So if you are wondering if you are in burnout, I would love to chat with you. You can go to bit.ly/chat with Shan. Also, if you're just wondering, head on over to our Facebook group. I changed the title to Simple Wellness Solutions for Motherhood Stress. So head on over to the Facebook group where you can find a community of moms and like-minded high achievers and go-getters that are just like you. They're caring for everyone else, and they might be a little stressed out or burnt out. And then the bold blueprint. That's what I was talking about with my coaching. I now have the 6-month group coaching program, the Bold Blueprint, and it is incredible for that community, that accountability, and that action step, each step of the way, so you can take bold action in your one life. You can learn how to steward this one life, the one time you've been given each day, the people you've been given, the one body you have been given. We don't get to do this again. And so we have to steward what we have. And here at the end of the day, well done, good and faithful servant. I know we long to hear that. Well, we get this one shot. So don't let stress run your life. You take control and take bold, courageous action in it. The Bold Blueprint will tell you exactly how. So go to theshanwright.com/bold. And now, please share this episode with a friend. That is huge in spreading the word of this podcast and this message of stewarding our one lives to God's glory. And I would be so thankful, and you would be making kingdom impact. Until next time, Shalom Shalom. Hey, Wellness Warrior, I pray that blessed you. And if so, it would bless me big if you would write a 5-star review and subscribe on Apple Podcasts. Not only would this make me super happy, but it will allow for others to find this show too. Also, I love to chat over on Instagram, so make sure to take a screenshot, share to your Instagram stories, and tag me at @TheShanWright. so I can see it and we can keep chatting and bring other moms to chat with us. Until we get to chat again, mama friend, may the Lord's face shine upon you and give you peace.